All right, so now we're looking at relative frequency and simulations. So, often in real life, it's not possible to calculate a theoretical probability for an event. In these situations, an experiment is carried out. An experiment is repeated a number of times, and that's called a trial. And it becomes a part of a larger experiment. For example, a die is rolled and the numbers recorded. This is an experiment. If the experiment is repeated another 49 times, the first roll of the die is now referred to as the first trial in an experiment where the die is rolled 50 times. So, a successful trial is where the result is the outcome that you wanted. So, the relative frequency, which we sometimes call the empirical or the experimental probability, you've probably heard of that, of an event is calculated using the following formula. So make sure you write this down. Relative frequency is equal to the number of successful trials divided by the number of total trials, total number of trials. And I'll show you what that means, but make sure that you write that formula down. So, the survey asked students how many times they visited the dentist in the past year, and the table below shows the findings. So, 2 students never went to the dentist because it's 0. 6 students visited the dentist once. 4 students visited twice. 2 students visited 3 times. Okay. So determine the following based on selecting a student at random. A. Calculate the probability that the student has visited the dentist twice in the past year. So they didn't say more than twice. They just said exactly twice. So those who went twice, there were 4 students. Round your answer to 2 decimal places. So what you do first is you get your total number of students because you need, remember for your formula, you need the total. So you're going to take all 2 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 and you get 15. So that's going to sit at the denominator, the bottom number of your, look at that, okay? It's going to be your total number of trials was 15. So it's going to sit at the bottom. But now we're going to talk about the number of successful trials. So that means, what are we talking about in this specific one? This one we're talking about someone who's been to the dentist twice in the year, and that would be 4. So therefore, you get 4 over 15, and then you divide 4 divided by 15, and you get 0.27. Okay, because it said round your answers to 2 decimal places. All right, let's do another one. Calculate the probability that students has been to the dentist more than once. So this person, 6 of them have gone once, but then you've got these students have gone 2, 3, 4, 5. So they've gone more than twice. So we add up how many students they want to know, because that's what the question was. The probability the students have been to this. So we've got to add up the 4, 2, 0, and 1 so that we can get the amount of how many have gone for more. There's our number of successful trials, which will be 7, and our total number of trials is 15, because we know that's how many are there altogether. Okay, so it's 7 is what we're talking about. 15 is the total number of everything. So remember the total. Okay, and then we should divide it and we get 0.47. Another question. A deputy wants to look at ways of improving traffic congestion around the school by encouraging students to either walk, ride, or bike, catch a bus to school. He does a survey. So at the moment, 56 go in the car, 27 walk, 12 catch the bus, go in the bike, and 43 bus. First question, how many students were surveyed? So you just add all of those numbers together, 138 students. So that's going to be now your total. Remember at the bottom of your fraction. Calculate the relative frequency of students who travel by car. So we take our 56, we make that we look over here, we put that as our number of successful trials, and the bottom is going to be our total that we worked out. There you go, 56 divided by 138, and you get 0.41, rounded to 2 decimal places. And then it says the school has a total of 827 students. Now, remember this is at random. So use the relative frequency to estimate the number of students in the school who travel by car. So the first thing is we say, okay, well, we know it's 56 over 138, and then we multiply that. So we go 56 divided by 138, multiplied by the whole number, and you get 336. So make sure you know how to do that one when we get there. That's it.